So today we're talking about flood insurance, all things flood insurance. I know a lot of you have probably been hearing that flood insurance is going to spike like crazy. A lot of people are going to have flood insurance that did not have to have it beforehand. And then what do we do with our mortgages and all of these things after you put several thousands of dollars on us in flood insurance? So we are going to talk about all of that. My name is Savannah Shepard, broker of South Vision Realty. Just recently, I went to a class with Brian Chapman, who owns Chapman Flood Insurance. You've probably seen his signs and his vehicles and all of his advertising. So he does a phenomenal job. And in his class, he talked a lot about flood insurance. This is something, obviously, as an insurance agent, he's really dove into. So I'm going to take all of that information and give it to you today. I'm also going to tag Brian, and I'm going to put below one of the things that an article that he wrote about this to better educate you, because guys, this is about to become our reality. In all honesty, it's already become our reality, and it's going to be a really big deal for a lot of us. So flood insurance. So a couple things that I got from Brian's class. Number one, yes, everything that we're hearing, the nightmare that, oh my goodness, it's going to be so much more. Unfortunately, it is very true. Brian, in his article in the class that he said right now the insurance is going up at a minimum 150%, on average 300%. So if you are paying $1,000, in insurance, which is very low, just so you know, it's very low, but $1,000 in insurance last year, that means now it's $3,000 this year. That's what we're looking at on average. Some of you guys are going to get hit even worse. Who knows? Maybe I will get hit even worse. So this is a really big deal, something that we need to stay on top of. Call your agent today, get this information, figure out what the best route is to go. But yeah, he said on average it's going 300%, minimum it's going up 150%. Now, he said if you already have a flood insurance policy, this is something that will benefit you. If you don't have a policy, you're in a bad situation, because a lot of people did not need insurance beforehand, and when they rolled out these new maps, we need insurance now. So if you're one of those people, it's going to be, I'm one of those people, okay? So it's going to be difficult for us. I don't know what kind of rates we're going to get. I can tell you I got a quote for about $500 a couple months ago. Definitely wish I took it, because now it's probably going to be closer to $3,000. But is what it is, but that is going to really hit us. If you already had a policy, they can only raise it 18% a year. That said, definitely expect for them to max it out 18% a year, and they will do that until you're at the current rate. So, as an example, let's say you were paying $1,000 on insurance last year. They roll out this new flood insurance. They tell you, hey, you're going to owe $4,000 now. They will hit you for that upscale of 18% every single year until you hit the $4,000. And then, of course, that will be the going rate for there on out. So, big deal. I mean, we're talking about a huge number increase on this. April 1st is when they are 100% rolling it out, but really even right now it's already started. April 1st, 2022. So October 1st is when they did this for businesses. And when I talked with Brian last week, he said a lot of this is already rolling out, and it's too late to try and get in on those lower rates. So do what you can. Call your insurance agent immediately. Ask her if you do not currently have a flood insurance policy. Ask her if this is going to be something that's bothering you, because there are a lot of locations that are not in flood that are now considered a flood zone, and they're going to require you to get an insurance. If, of course, you have a mortgage on your house, if you have cash, then that's your prerogative, and you really don't need to worry about this aside from just in general not having insurance. If it's a loan, you don't have a choice. You have to have insurance on this, so it's a big deal. So call your insurance agent right away. Like I said, Brian Chapman's the one that went through all of this with us, which was very helpful. One thing that he mentioned is a map addendum, so amendment. A map amendment. So that is something that you can call Charlotte, Lee, DeSoto, Sarasota County and tell them, I want to apply for a map amendment. And that is if you feel you should not be in a flood zone. Not a lot of people do these. I would imagine not a lot of them get through. But if you get hit with something like $10,000 in flood insurance, I would be doing a map amendment, because if there's anything I can do to not have to be hit with that, by all means, I want it. So that is something, ask your county. They might be able to get you in touch with that document and be able to fill that out, go through that process and save you some, by all means. Aside from that, the biggest thing I would say is call your agent right away. Ask them specifically, how does this affect me and what can I do to avoid being hit with a large policy? And I mean, you know, 1,000 to 4,000 is something they're seeing all day long. So that's not even unusual. We're getting a lot of these big policies. And guys, honestly, you know, this is something else that I've read about and known that we're not the biggest problem here. They're changing flood rates everywhere. They're doing this to Louisiana too. We're not alone. There's several states that are really being hit with this. Florida is really not bad on flooding. So if you research, we're not bad at all. And all the money that we put into flood insurance, we hardly use any of it for actual flood insurance. So it's ridiculous that they're killing us with these rates. But it is what it is. They're doing it. Probably a lot of people are going to go to private policies. Even private policies are going up. So the biggest thing I can take away from this is call your insurance agent, find out how this affects you. That's going to be a huge deal. Below, I'm going to have Brian Chapman's information. That if you want to talk with him about any details, you can go through that as well. I will also have his article attached that was very helpful in gaining knowledge on this subject and knowing how to better protect yourself. So hopefully this is helpful. Any questions, comments, put below. And of course, if you have friends and family that own real estate in Florida, share this out to them because this is going to help them as well. You guys have a great Wednesday and I'll see you back next week.